We left the Western Wall, took a small left turn, and entered an ancient aqueduct that is dated about 2,200 years ago. That means the aqueduct itself was built before Herod's time. What was the usage of that aqueduct? It gathered water from the northern hills of Jerusalem to a fortress we call the Birah Fortress. The Birah Fortress was a building that was built at the northwestern side of the Temple Mountain. When Herod rebuilt the temple, he extended also the platform. Do you remember I put a huge platform? That was Herod's extension of the plaza. When he did that, when he renovated everything, he also ruined the Birah Fortress. Meaning he didn't need that fortress anymore, and he built a different fortress we call the Antonia. Now, when he did that thing, he also ruined some of the aqueduct. No need for the aqueduct anymore that brought water from one side of Jerusalem, from the northern hills, to the Birah. What he did was, he gathered water of the aqueduct and created this pool we can see. This small pool we can see right here was done by Herod to gather water from the aqueduct and to use it afterwards for the Antonia fortress. This pool was called by the locals, the people who live in Jerusalem, the Stution pool. What is that? What exactly is Stution? Well, believe me, it's not a word in Hebrew and it's not a word in English as well. Stution derives from ancient Greek, and it actually means a sparrow, a small bird in nature. The people of those back in those days called this pool the sparrow pool, the small bird pool, because they wanted to emphasize that comparing this pool to other pools, it was quite small. So what exactly can we see? This whole area is 1/8 of the pool. Behind this wall is another 1/8. That means we can see, combine these two parts together, this area and the one behind us, behind this wall, it's 1/4 of the Stution pool. The rest of it is behind this wall. Actually, every stone, different period. We've been talking about the aqueduct itself. It took us 2,200 years ago. We've been talking about what Herod has been doing 2,000 years ago. This huge arch that's above us is dated to Hadrian's time, about 1,800 years ago. And who's been splitting this Stution pool into two? What exactly are those small stones? So those stones were built probably 200 years ago, 150 years ago. So as a summary of what we've been working and doing, I would say, question?
Yeah, just what's on the other side of these stones? More opposite, but yeah, if you kept going this way, what we find?
I'm happy that only a week ago, for the first time, I actually went to see the other side of the pool. So I've always been talking to groups and saying we can see only 1/4 of the pool, and 3/4 of the pool, of the Stution pool, continue behind this wall. And for the first time, last week exactly, I went to the other side and still the rest of the pool. That means if you go to the place called Minzad HaChayot Zion, the Sister of Zion, you go down their basement. You can go, when you go outside, if that's Hila's plan, we'll be able to go down and see the Stution pool from the other side. 3/4 of it. And when I did that a week ago, I was so excited when I said, eventually I can actually tell the groups what is actually behind this wall, because until then I didn't know. So if you go, just see the continuation of this pool. But to summarize what we've been through, I really think each stone with its own story. We've been talking about the Western Wall itself, explaining that it is one of 4 retaining walls that were built by Herod. We've been talking about the fact that the Western Wall is the closest to Kodesh HaKodeshim, to the Holy of Holies. That would be one of the reasons why it is so important compared to the others. And we've been talking about the tunnels, explaining that they were part of buildings, houses that were built 700 years ago upon arches, all together. And will help us understand that maybe the tour, the Western tunnels has just ended, but I really think that the story of this amazing city this enchanting city of Jerusalem has just begun. So here I'd just like to thank you so much for joining me for this amazing day.